organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV.
Find out who Phil is and why he seemed to be everywhere on campus Tuesday.
Plus, we'll tell you what the president will be talking about when he visits the UI Wednesday.
And in sports, we'll tell you which Iowa football player's career is coming to an end much sooner than expected.
That's all coming your way next.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for tuning in to your Tuesday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Josh Bolander.
And I'm Tasha Woods. Signs all across campus today proclaimed Phil was here. But who is this Phil? Well, Phil stands for philanthropy, and today was Phil's Day here at the UI. Officials created Phil's Day as a way to thank friends and alumni for their donations to the UI. Events included a postcard signing to send to donors and a special lecture from Gary Siemens, for whom the engineering building was named after. A generous donor to the UI for many years, Siemens says he was grateful for the recognition on Phil's Day.
What's important to me is to see how those people are benefiting from what you've done. And I think that's what they're trying to do with this.
And in 2011, the UI Foundation received just under $214 million in private donations.
A Davenport man faces multiple charges after an attempted bank robbery that caused the university to send out a hawk alert Monday. 34-year-old Eric Martin is charged with first-degree robbery and 4 other charges after police say he attempted to rob Hills Bank on Gilbert Street and subsequently led police on a dangerous pursuit. Police say Martin was carrying a loaded 9mm pistol at the time of his arrest. Students were notified of the incident through a university hawk alert after an initial and somewhat confusing alert was sent out that likely referred to an incident that occurred in February.
Long-awaited changes to Iowa's mental health care system moved one step closer to becoming a reality on Tuesday. The Iowa House overwhelmingly approved a measure that officials will make services more uniform across the state. According to the Associated Press, the changes will cost the state around $52 million. The bill now heads to the Senate, where it is expected to pass with little opposition.
Many on the University of Iowa campus already know that President Obama will be stopping to speak at the University of Iowa campus tomorrow, but many people are still wondering why. Daily Iowan TV's Nick Rector has the story on why this speech could play a pivotal role in how much debt students will have to deal with after graduation.
University of Iowa students lined up outside the Iowa Memorial Union this week, waiting to get their tickets to see President Obama speak on Wednesday. Students seemed happy and excited at the chance to get to see the president speak in their own backyard, the field house. But do they really know why the president has made the decision to speak at Iowa? Did you know President Obama will be coming to the University of Iowa on Wednesday to speak?
Yeah, I was aware of that.
Do you know what he'll be talking about?
No, I'm not really sure.
Do you know what Obama's going to be talking about all tomorrow?
No.
Many University of Iowa students did not. President Obama is traveling to the U.S. this week, visiting colleges to talk about student loans and making the cost of higher education more affordable. It's an issue the president says has gotten out of hand. For the first time ever, Americans owe more debt on student loans than they do on credit cards. Also, students who take out loans graduate owing an average of $25,000 nationwide. If Congress don't reapprove this tuition tax credit on July 1st, interest rates on some students' loans will double. President Obama wants to stop that from happening because in the past, it has saved middle-class families millions of dollars.
This is a question of values. We cannot let America become a country where a shrinking number of people do really well while a growing number of people struggle to get by. We've got to build an economy where everyone gets a fair shot, everyone does their fair share, and everyone plays by the same set of rules. That's how the middle class gets stronger. That's an economy that's built to last.
Nick Rector, Daily Iowan TV.
President Obama's speech is scheduled to begin at the UI Fieldhouse at 1:00 p.m. But unfortunately, if you don't have a ticket by now, you won't be able to see him. Tickets ran out early on Tuesday afternoon.
Still to come on Daily Iowan TV, we'll tell you how a group of local writers came together to preserve a piece of Iowa City history.
And in sports, more night games are now possible at Kinnick. We'll explain who is responsible for lighting up Iowa athletics.
That's coming up in just a bit, but now it's time to check in with Christina Targos for your local forecast. Christina?
Thanks, Tasha. Wednesday we will have some unusually warm weather again, but the rest of the week will drop back down to the temperatures we've been seeing lately. Wednesday morning will be 58 degrees with scattered thunderstorms. By noon, it will be getting up to 69 and 70 degrees by 9 p.m. There's also a 30% chance of isolated thunderstorms Wednesday night. For the rest of our forecast, Wednesday will have a high of 79 degrees with 40% chance of scattered thunderstorms. Thursday will go back down to 66 degrees with partly cloudy skies, and Friday will have a high of 46 degrees and 30% chance of showers. Saturday will be the chilliest day with a high of only 45 and a 30% chance of showers. Sunday will have a high of 53 degrees, and Monday will be getting slightly warmer again with a high of 61. That's your check of the weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
Governor Terry Branstad says federal regulations and high taxes are hurting Iowa businesses. At a press conference Tuesday, Branstad, along with the Republican governors of Nebraska and Michigan, said such restrictions make it difficult for businesses to grow, even as unemployment across the state has fallen over the past several months. The governors met with officials from 8 other states as part of a 2-day summit on regional economic development.
And whether you're just into meditation or like to avoid confrontation, finding peace in Iowa may be easier than in most other places around the country. The Institute for Economics and Peace recently named Iowa the 10th most peaceful state in the country. The Midwest as a whole was rated the 2nd most peaceful based on violent crime statistics, incarceration rates, and availability of small arms. Iowa couldn't top the Northeast haven of Maine, though, which came in as the most peaceful state in the country.
An Iowa City Landmark released a book Tuesday recapping more than 60 years of both its own and Iowa City's history. I was there this morning to take in the launch. For over 60 years, the Hamburg Inn has opened its doors to the Iowa City public. Known primarily for its home cooking, delicious assortment of breakfast foods, and of course, its political importance during caucus times, today the Iowa City Food Landmark had a bit of a different vibe. While its patrons dined and servers cooked, a number of the restaurant's employees were signing autographs, reflecting on the restaurant's history and appreciating the past after the restaurant released its new book, The Berg, A Writer's Diner.
And I just loved the town immediately and the people that I started waiting on. And to me, it was like what Iowa City was about.
The book, put together by local writers and past and present employees of the restaurant, featured black and white photos, writing from past restaurant goers, and above anything, really reflected on what the Hamburg is all about.
That it's a place with a soul, that it embodies the best of Iowa City, all these different groups being together in one place, and the food is good.
So whether it's the food, politics, or just the local vibe that draws its customers' attention, it seems as though the Berg, as it's referenced to by the book's title, will continue to bring in guests, and it just so happens that one of the biggest of all will be stopping in for his copy Wednesday morning. If you missed out on a chance to grab your copy of the book, you can catch a free reading next month at Prairie Lights.
And now Daily Iowan TV's Lauren Moss is here for your look at Hawkeye sports.
All right, thanks, guys. And sad news for Hawkeye linebacker Shane DeBona, who had a career-ending Achilles injury in the spring game back on April 4th. Today, he received word that he will be sitting out his senior season. He suffered the same injury in 2011 and also missed that entire season. And unfortunately, he will not be able to play under the new Musco lighting system that was recently installed in Kinnick Stadium. The local Musco company is responsible for lighting all the Hawkeye athletic facilities and many more sites here at the University of Iowa. The company has grown into a worldwide sports lighting company, and Daily Iowan TV Sports Ann Costable went to the headquarters in Oskaloosa to find out more.
Musco Lighting is now one of the premier sports lighting companies in the world, and it all began right here in Iowa when Joe Crookham and Myron Gordon noticed room for a niche player in the lighting industry. With the company being based out of Oskaloosa and Muscatine, Iowa, the work done with the Hawkeyes has always been important. In fact, Kinnick Stadium is where one major idea began.
Bump Elliott was the athletic director, and he loaned us Kinnick Stadium after the last football game in 1980 to do a test there. So we went in and we set up a test demonstration for ABC television, and that's where the idea of mobile lighting got started.
Now sporting venues from the New York Yankee Stadium to the Losail International Speedway in Qatar rely on this very company to light their sporting events. And to most fans, the lighting goes unnoticed. But that is exactly how CEO Joe Crookham explains he likes it.
What we do is we try to light up what people are wanting to look at and make it really special for them. So that their attention is drawn to it just like it would be to the stage in a Broadway play. We do our job right, that people are focused on the facility and the event going on, the sports game that's going on. And if they're able to focus on that and not aware of the lights, then we did a really good job of putting the lights in.
It hasn't been all about sports with this company. They've helped on movie sets, with space shuttle launches, and one of the most important projects in the company's history came following the September 11th terrorist attacks, when they were able to send help to Ground Zero and the Pentagon. Musco's work stretches beyond the lighting of a famous stadium, but sports will always be a cornerstone for this company. Reporting from Oskaloosa, Iowa, I'm Annie Costable, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
So be sure to go out and check out some of those new lights, but that's all I have tonight for sports. Guys, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Laura. Now let's go back beyond Iowa and take a look at some of the top headlines from around the globe. The newly divided countries of Sudan and Southern Sudan may be on the brink of full-out war. Less than a year after the country split due to conflict over an oil-producing region along the border, violent attacks have increased. Yesterday, South Sudanese officials say their counterparts to the north bombed several villages, killing at least 2 people and injuring 10.
The Dutch Prime Minister resigned Monday after lawmakers from a far right-wing party said they would no longer support his government. The move means early elections could come as soon as the summer. Lawmakers are scheduled to meet this week to try and decide how best to move forward in the meantime.
And a sawmill in British Columbia went up in flames after an explosion rocked the factory Tuesday. More than 20 people were injured in the blast, and investigators are still trying to figure out just how it started. It was the second fire at the mill in the past 4 months.
And take a look at this. A woman in China was walking along a sidewalk, talking on her cell phone, when the ground unexpectedly opened up beneath her. The woman fell 18 feet into a pit that officials say was likely caused by erosion from underground waterways. A helpful cab driver jumped into the hole himself to try and rescue the girl. Firefighters later pulled both the girl and the cabbie out safely.
Wow, Josh, I'm really glad that cab driver was there to help her out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek into Wednesday's pages of the Daily Iowan. Find out why the average Johnson County resident spends over $1,000 a year on substance abuse-related programs.
Plus, we'll tell you how students tried to take back the night to end sexual violence.
That's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV.
Be sure to check us out at the same time tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.